welcome CCM to this very special episode where me and my guest, Crit, can you introduce yourselves, please?
Christian Dedeo.
I'm Stephanie Berg.
And to note, she is a film club president. Welcome, and thank you for bringing on your expertise
Thanks
to the
for
show.
having me.
If you're wondering why I have this mask on, it is because this is a very special episode where tomorrow, Avengers Endgame, as well as the end of all Marvel movies for the past 10 years, will come to an end. I'm sad, and the reason I have this Spider-Man mask on is because if you watch the movies, it's very hard to breathe in this. If you watch the movie, my man got dusted. Man, are you guys sorry to see this coming to an end? My man got a Venom on, Captain Marvel. That was a good movie.
Good movie.
You guys sad to see it come to an end?
Yeah, I'm sad to see it come to an end. It's, emotional because, if you, for me, I've been, watching this since the beginning, as I'm sure a lot of other people have, so you kind of grow, attached to these certain characters, like Iron Man and Captain America, Thor, stuff like that. So when you grow an attachment to them, so it's gonna be it's gonna be emotional. I'm gonna probably see it 5 times, but it's gonna be hard to see it every single time. But yeah, so I'm pretty excited, but it's gonna be an emotional thing. So
yeah, I've grown up with these characters, so seeing it all come to an end is definitely gonna be sad, but it's also gonna give some closure, especially because I read the comics and stuff. So being able to kind of figure out where it all ends up is going to be really interesting. And they always do a really good job because they got a really good budget. And I'm excited to see what it'll look like.
I'm glad that you mentioned budget because right here I have a list of top 3 Marvel Cinematic movies that made the most money. So the first one was Avengers, the original one in 2012. The second one was Infinity War, which recently just came out, I believe last year, right?
Yep.
Okay. And Black Panther that came out in 2017.
No, it's 2018.
2018?
Yeah, February
Okay.
2018. Yep.
All right. So Black Panther wins when it comes to the domestic gross and how much they made, but Infinity War, with a worldwide gross income of $2,048,359,754.
I'm lucky if I got $100 in my bank account right now.
Yeah.
You got a huh?
I said I'm lucky if I got $100 in my bank account right now.
Yeah.
That's a lot of money.
College ain't easy. Them 4-for-4s be coming clutch. Listen, I'm telling you, man. 4-for-4. So other factors when it comes to Endgame. According to Yahoo, the screening in China on midnight of Tuesday, it earned $28.2 million, combined with Wednesday night, to approximately $79 million in total. That crushes the $9.1 million that the midnight screening of Furious 8, and as well, it went on to be the highest opening in China against I can't read my own hand right. So, China box office history passing Monster Hunter 2. I don't even know really that movie, but I mean,
No idea.
Yeah, I heard
the
of
numbers.
it, but I didn't.
You know the movie?
I heard of it. I remember seeing commercials for it, but I didn't watch it.
The last thing I have here is, according to CNBC, Endgame is expected to earn between 260 and 285 mil.
I have no idea. But
I
I think it's going to be more.
I think
More?
Well, when I was I forget from what source it was, but I remember I read something they projected it to do, I think, 860 million for the first weekend. But my own personal thing, I thought it was gonna hit at least $1 billion the first weekend because
you can't get tickets anywhere. The website
Yeah,
crashed within the first second it opened.
Bro, the morning I went to go get my tickets.
Yeah, you told me.
Bro, I woke up 8. I woke up. The tickets went on sale 8 o'clock. Coincidentally, I woke up by 8:15, something like that. So rolled over, gonna go on my phone, all that. I was like, the tickets are on sale. I'll go get them. So I go on my phone, and it was I have the Fandango app that I use. So I was like, I'm going to the Fandango app, all that. And so it says, all right, it's a line, you have to wait 20 minutes. I'm like, all right, 20 minutes. And then 40 minutes go by, and I'm still waiting for 20 minutes. I'm like, you know what? I texted my friend, I'm like, I got to get these tickets. I can't wait X amount of time to see it. Mm-hmm. So I texted my friend. He was like, I'm just going to the physical theater and going to get it. So I was like, I might just do the same thing. I threw whatever clothes I had on, zoomed over to the AMC in Rockaway, because that's when I'm going to see it at. and I was waiting outside with probably like 10 other people to get the tickets, and I was like, so the 10 were just waiting outside in the cold at 9 in the morning, waiting for these tickets or whatever. So that's how. So the fact that like the internet pretty much like crashed, like people were waiting hours for the tickets online or the phone. So I think it definitely is gonna hit $1 billion. Just the way that it's just how monumental it is. Because people that don't even follow it are going to go see it. Like with Black Panther, a lot of people who didn't follow it because Black Panther is such a major character, they went to go see the movie and they don't follow anything about it. So I think with Avengers, like everyone's gonna see it. So just off the hype alone, I think it's gonna. And of course, at this point, so many people have started following, whether they followed it from the beginning or they started following it like midway through, like as of recently. I think that just through all those factors, it's gonna hit $1 billion.
How'd you get your ticket, Steph?
I had to wait another day.
You waited till the day after?
No, I have to wait till, because it comes out on the 26th, I had to wait till the 27th. My cousin and I are going to like this water park. I treated her for her birthday, and I tried to get tickets earlier and see what I could do, but I couldn't even get on the app. But I did find this little local theater in the town that we're gonna be in, and for I don't know, it was like $10. I got reserved seating, recliner seats, free drinks, and she has no idea, and she's a huge Marvel fan too. So I was like, I'll pay $10. That's not a problem.
I gotta go to that theater, yeah.
I reserved it. I got the middle seats right in the center of exactly in the center of the theater.
That was the thing.
That was insane.
That was the thing too.
So
when
excited.
I went that morning, because I figured I was like, all right, everyone got their tickets online already. So I'm like, all right, like it's probably not gonna be that wide of an arrangement. So I'm in the actual theater, and at the Rockaway one, it has like a digital screen. You do it all like a touch screen.
Right.
Yeah.
So I was like, all right, the 7 o'clock's already booked. I'll just do the 10 o'clock. That's a safe bet. And so I'm like, all right, it's probably not going to be that wide of an arrangement seating. I'll just take whatever I can get. And so I go to that, and all the seats were open. Like I was like, what?
Mm-hmm.
I was like, man, I can pick whatever seat I want. I picked my 3 seats, with the perfect seats I want. I was like, I was shocked. Like I thought it was all going to be, I thought they were all going to be going. But I guess.
Was this for normal too? Because I know like.
I'm going to the IMAX showing.
See, that's what I'm saying. It all depends on like, what kind of show.
The IMAX.
Yeah.
That's a lot of money.
I know.
Like, by the end of the day, you might walk out with like $30 gone from your account.
I know.
So, records that Endgame broke, the advanced ticket sales is like the widest. It'll have like the widest release of any film in U.S. history. So, going back, piggyback of what you're saying, like this movie is so monumentally like crazy. The hype for it has just been crazy. Even the owners, the Russo brothers, had to put out numerous either screenshots, notices, letters to say like don't spoil it because as you were saying before, before production, the screenings. Like there's been screenings already all over. I know the world premiere was in L.A. A few days ago, and if you didn't go to that, I mean, you're just waiting like anybody else to go see either tomorrow or throughout the weekend. So I mean, the hype for this movie has just been just crazy. Like I don't know, what are some drastic measures you guys had to do just to make sure you don't get spoiled?
Turn off my phone.
You turn off your phone?
Well, I'm not going on social media because I follow a lot of accounts because I'm really like deep into it, and I'm not following any, like I make sure I'm not on Instagram, I'm not on Twitter, I'm not on anything, so I don't want any spoilers. I know the theories, I know some things that like could possibly happen, and I don't want anything to get ruined. I just don't want to know because I'm waiting for that movie and I want to experience it myself.
Now, for me, personally, I deleted my Instagram, my Twitter, like.
I know.
I
know.
And it's to the point, and it's so crazy because like I still just like force a habit, go on my phone, like press it, and it's not there, and I'm like, damn, like I forgot I can't go on it, like it's on my phone because like I said before, off there, my brother he went on the Explorer page on Instagram because, like him, like we both follow a lot of, hero stuff, Marvel stuff, And so you get new feeds and everything like that. So my brother, he saw like an image from like a video. He didn't watch the video, but he just saw the image real quick. And so, and it ruined it a little bit for him. So he was like, so he told me that, the second he told me that, I was like, nah, I can't do this. I gotta delete it. Like, I did everything.
Because they're all theories at this point. You can't expect anything.
You don't even know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Like, even the cast, they said they didn't even see the movie until the opening game. Like, that's crazy.
They said, the Ruthless brothers said that they didn't, like the actors, they didn't know what scenes they were filming. They just film it and like.
They film it randomly.
Yeah.
They give little random pieces of script, like not even you, because usually films are somewhat chronological, but they're just like, oh, we'll just take some of this and some of this one, and they're like, have fun, and like, we'll film it, and then the editors are like the only people that kind of know what's going on.
Yeah, the cast themselves, they just film what they give it to them, and they don't know where fits where, and exactly. So.
Like, imagine getting interviewed, and like they're getting so many interviews now, and they have no idea what's going on. They're like, okay, well, can you give us anything? They're like, I have no idea. Yeah. So every single interview is now the same.
Yeah, I know somebody interviewed for a separate interview, completely separate, but they had interviewed Chadwick Boseman. I saw it, and they were asking him like, oh, is Black Panther gonna be in the movie? And he's like, well, I'm dead. And so they're like, no, but like, they're like, no, but like, are you, like, he's like, but I'm dead. So like, they don't even know. And even if they do know, like, a lot of them don't say it, but they keep a lot of them in the dark because people will spoil. Like, even the cast members accidentally might spoil it.
Especially
it happened last year.
Oh, stop.
Especially Tom Holland.
It happened last year.
I can't stand Tom Holland.
Yo, he can't keep it. He's literally a kid. That's why.
I know, it's annoying.
That's why in Infinity War, I feel like I felt his death the most. Me personally, because, obviously he's my favorite hero. But the fact that he just had like this outlook of like a real high school teenage kid, like he was so innocent. He was like, I don't want to go, I don't want to go. I'm like, yo, don't do that, because I'm about to start tearing up. I got the mask on. I'm like, yo, don't do this. But speaking of theories, Steph, what's some theories you guys can come up with? What do you think is going to happen?
Just from interviews.
I mean, well, I have two theories. Like, I'm pretty solid on. Like, bet vows on it. One theory I have is that Loki is actually still alive. Yeah. I think the way I think it happened was there's a solid theory behind it. I think the fact, because in the first Avengers movie, you find out that Loki was actually sent like by Thanos. Like, that was the whole thing behind that.
Yeah, that I did not know. I thought he came on his own free will.
No, well, I think he was sent by Thanos to go get the Tesseract and that Infinity Stone and everything. But after that, like, Loki wanted to end up just conquering the world that's his own personal vendetta and stuff like that. But so he knows Thanos. Like, he knows Thanos. He's worked for him. He knows him, right? So at the end of Ragnarok, you see the post-credit scene. You see Thor and Loki. They see Thanos' ship coming. They should pull up.
Yep.
And so Thor has no idea. Like, he doesn't know. What's going on. Loki knows who that is. Like, Loki's like, oh, like, nah, like, whatever. So, and Loki, he's like, he has powers or whatever, but he's not that strong. Like, he's not like Thor or whatever. He can't, fight. So I think the second, because the Russo brothers confirmed that not all the Asgardians on that ship died. They said that half of the Asgardians with like Valkyrie and the other ones escaped. So I think, because Loki obviously has like powers, he could shapeshift all that. I think he, shapeshifted into just some regular Asgardian, whatever, and went on that ship. And then the one we see on screen, like that, whatever, is just like his clone and everything. Because even in like Ragnarok, like with Hela, she was the main villain. He didn't fight her once. Like, the whole movie, he didn't fight.
No.
And he didn't fight her once.
He like walked up to her a few times.
Yeah, even in Avengers, he doesn't fight like that. He doesn't fight. Like, that's what he doesn't do that. Like, and he knows Thanos better than anyone. He's the most powerful being that we know of to this point. Like, so he knows like he can't just put a knife to his throat and it's gonna happen. Like, he's not stupid. Like,
that attempt was just like,
but that's what I'm saying, though.
Better than that.
But that's what I'm saying, though. Loki's not stupid, and we've seen Loki die at least like twice already. Like, and like, or die, die. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. So I don't believe the whole that. So that's my one theory. I'm pretty concrete on. And then another one is, this is like, there's not really any like concrete as my Loki theory. But I think actually, because everyone's like, oh, someone's going to die, whether it's Cap or Tony. But I actually think it's going to be, I kind of think Black Widow's going to die. I think she's going to be.
Oh, that would be interesting.
I think she's going to die.
Why do you think that?
Because, I'm going to say why. Because I think that if you notice through all, like the trailers and everything, or the promoting, they kind of like show her a lot. Like she's in a lot of the trailers, the majority of the trailers. She's in like just everywhere. And I feel like, and they had said, I think that would be, because obviously Hulk and her have like a, a connection. And I think that would kind of bring Hulk just like full circle. That would kind of bring his story arc just to be a full thing, because obviously that would hit home for him. And obviously everything that he went through, like Infinity War, we didn't see him that much. So I don't know how exactly it would work, but I feel like that would be a thing.
That would be interesting.
That's just what I like from what I put together and like stuff
Although
like that.
there is a confirmed Black Widow movie.
No, I know that, but that's the origin. That's her origin
but
story.
I still feel like there could be something like.
No, it could be. Like I said, it's just
that
I'm not as sold on as the Loki one. Loki one, I'm sold on that one, but
that's the same thing also with like Gamora, who apparently died, but she's confirmed for the third movie for Guardians of the Galaxy, so she's not dead.
Well, I think obviously they're not. All the people that are dead aren't gonna stay dead.
Right.
Like Spider-Man dead, Far From Home's coming out. They're gonna go forward with Black Panther, so they're not gonna stay dead. We know that, but I just want to know. I'm just interested to see who of the original is actually gonna stay. I don't think I have no idea at this point, but that's why we're gonna watch the movie to go find out. So.
And we're sure that like time travel is gonna be mixed into it with the suits and everything, but we just don't know whether it's gonna be Captain Marvel or it's gonna be with Ant-Man and Quantum. So
the quantum realm theory is
the quantum realm. That's a big one.
Well, we're gonna take a short break, and when we come back, we're gonna have more theories, as well as predictions what's gonna happen, as well as we're gonna have some kind of insight on what Infinity Stones can do, and if they will be trapped in the Soul Stone, or will be something like the comic. And we'll be right back after these messages. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to a special episode with Laundry with Lloyd, where we'll be discussing Avengers Endgame. As you can see, I took off the mask because it's very hard to breathe in it. Shout out to Spider-Man, who fights crime with it all day. Now, as we were talking about Endgame, I'm going to mention the Infinity Stones, because regardless of what happens, how the movie pans out, we still can't deny that this man has all 6 stones. Even the 6th stone with the Soul Stone is kind of up in the air. I mean, it could go by the comics, how they're trapped in the Soul Stone, or it could be literally they're dead. And, I mean, there's just so many theories. So I'm going to just read off basically what the powers are for those who don't know. Obviously, us who as fanatics do. The Space Stone, this man can travel through space, no matter where. The Power Stone basically unlocks anybody's hidden potential, or if they have, it just enhances the person's abilities. And it actually can destroy an entire planet, as we saw in Infinity War, as Thanos brought down the entire planet on Tony Stark. And, he kind of got pissed and was like, you throw another moon at me. The Mind Stone can take over people's minds against their own will. Reality, which is basically what we saw when he was on, when he was with the Collector. I forgot the name of the planet.
Nowhere.
Yeah, Nowhere. Okay, yes, Nowhere. And literally not the Avengers, the Guardians of the Galaxy saw what they would thought was Thanos' death was just an illusion. So that in itself just blows my mind. And obviously the Time Stone is, self-explanatory. You can go back in time. What he did with Vision, took it out, reverse time, take it right back. So, I mean, and the Soul Stone, like I guess, in this cinematic universe is a mystery because we don't know what it does. I mean, the most we got was Gamora when he saw her as a little girl in the Vision as soon as he got the stone. I mean, when he collected all 6 and snapped his fingers. I mean, how can you guys see these guys winning? I mean, like, if someone can alter your reality, that's already like half the battle. Like, you think you killed the guy, he's not dead. So, I mean, I don't know. Like, what do you guys think?
I mean, I think it's gonna have something to do. I don't know. I really don't know in terms of the. I know one theory is that they're gonna go back in time and recollect the stones and do it that way. I mean, you guys, I guess you could do that. But I think I don't even think they would need to, because at the end of Infinity War, like with Thor, he was pretty much right there, like,
Stand over the head.
Yeah, he was right there, you know what I'm saying? And now now if you add Captain Marvel to the equation, then if we, obviously, Hulk's gonna be in this movie, I would, bet, like, they're not gonna have the last movie without Hulk, like, you know what I'm saying? So, I think that's what's gonna end up happening. They're gonna go back with the stones and all that, but I don't think you necessarily need to because of how close they were, at the end of the Infinity War, but you know.
And like we said before, I think the suits are definitely going to come into play, and I could see those being used in the quantum realm because that's kind of similar to the suits that they used in Ant-Man. But I am not really sure. They could do something with Captain Marvel since she can do some time travel, but that honestly hasn't been confirmed or denied because it's in some comics, but not all of them. So those suits are definitely coming into play, whether it's them going through time or them just going to space. But I think it's gonna. There's some sort. I think there's something with time traveling. I just don't know if it's gonna be to go collect. Because that's like a whole movie going back to collect it. It doesn't really make sense.
I mean, it is 3 hours. Niggas spend the first hour of going back.
You know what I think too, though. I don't think I'm like pretty much convinced at this point because they have a track record of doing it. I think a lot of the things that we've seen aren't actually in the movie. Like,
I know.
Like,
It was all
the thing with the Infinity War.
well, no. Well, I'm saying if you like with Thor Ragnarok, there was a scene where it shows him like he has lightning all over his body and his eyes are
like there's like
lightning.
unleashed powers and stuff.
Yeah,
like
yeah,
that.
yeah. And then in the actual movie, he lost one of his eyes.
Yeah.
But in the trailer leading to the movie, he had both his eyes.
Yeah.
And then Infinity War, there was a scene in Wakanda. You see Hulk. Hulk was never in Wakanda.
Mm-hmm.
They do that. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
I definitely
they just trick you in the trailer.
yeah, I definitely.
That's annoying.
I
like,
definitely think I like it though, cause to be honest, it's annoying, but I kind of like it at the same time, cause like
Because you're expecting for one thing and it's like, wait a
they
second,
throw you off. So I definitely think there's a lot of scenes that they're they're misleading us with that aren't gonna actually be in the movie, but I don't know.
A point to go on is Captain Marvel. She kind of, in one of the trailers, she kind of like, I don't want to say pissed me off, but kind of got me the wrong way. She was like, there's like, when Rhodey asked her, where have you been at for all these years? She's like, I've been in planets and then like, unfortunately, they didn't have you guys, the Avengers. I'm like, but then he want to say like, all right, let's go get him. It's not that easy. Well, you got me now. What the hell do you think you can do? Like, wait a minute. If we couldn't do nothing, this man got 6 stones. What the hell you think you gonna do?
She does have a lot of power and potential, and especially in the comic books, she's one of the most powerful MCU characters. So that won't potentially solve everything, but it'll definitely add to the characters. And also Valkyrie's coming back, so that will be, because she's pretty cool. Like, she can use like a lot of weapons and things, and I think that could definitely come into play. But Captain Marvel has a lot of unlocked powers that I don't think we've seen yet. And I think that she's learned since, in the first movie, all we learned is that she can, like, fly and do some, like, photon blasts and things like that. But
we haven't really seen that.
yeah, we don't know enough. I think that there's going to be something more unlocked with her, especially because she can go into space without a problem. And, like, I'm sure she can just, like, go up and, go get something while they can't. So I think that she's definitely going to play a huge part. But I don't think she's going to be, like, the savior.
Yeah.
But I'm excited to see, like, her and, like, Thor getting along.
Yeah.
Just because that first trailer.
Yeah.
And I'm just excited for that because I think that's too good.
Leading up to now, what is some favorite moments or movies you guys had coming up to Endgame?
I gotta say, I think my favorite movie was Guardians of the Galaxy, the first one. I don't know, it came out, I forgot what year it came out, but it was a while ago, and I just remember, like, that was when I've always loved comics, but that was when I first, like, was like, okay, you know what, I'm, like, super into this, I gotta, like, rewatch them all again, and then I had, like, a better understanding, but, like, I felt like you could relate so much to the characters in a sense, and it was a funny movie, and it really showed a sense of humor that we haven't seen before, which I really appreciated. I did like Black Panther a lot. I did think they did a really good job, and Captain Marvel too. But I really like the first Iron Man, which is one of the first ones, because it really just brings everything together. It's really like the rock of all the movies. So, and I think probably my favorite scene is in Captain Marvel. Winter Soldier, when they're all together, like all of them come together, like Ant-Man, and they're all like fighting in the air bay, and I think that's probably just my favorite scene because that's like the first time you see really everyone together.
Yeah.
So
it was a good fight too.
It was a good scene.
Yeah. Now for me, I think at this point it would have to be Thor Ragnarok because before that, because Thor is kind of like. People really didn't like have any type of feeling towards Thor. They're like, because his first 2 movies were like to each his own, but they were like less than
It was
stellar.
Right, yeah.
the
You know what I'm saying?
Dark World one was like.
They were just like kind of like they weren't like bad movies. They weren't bad movies by any means, but they weren't
They didn't
like.
give you enough towards the character.
Yeah, yeah,
Thor
they were just,
Ragnarok
like-
really gave you what you were looking for in the first two.
Exactly, yeah. And so with Ragnarok, like you kind of felt like to where they're going with Thor now, you kind of feel like a connection with him now, like because he's lost like everything. He,
Yeah.
he's gone through it. Like he's relatable. Like
All
you
his
know?
well, from his mindset, all his family is dead.
That's
Yeah.
What, yeah, exactly though. He, and he's finally like. He's finally coming into his own to realizing how powerful he actually is and who he really is. Like I feel like in the first two movies he was Thor, but with the hammer and Mjolnir and everything, whatever. And when he lost the hammer in Ragnarok, it was like he thought, I'm nothing,
He had
whatever.
to go back to the roots.
And then and then he realized no, like it's not the hammer, it's me. Like you know what I'm saying?
He really like lived up to his title. at that
Exactly,
point,
yeah. So I think Ragnarok was definitely my favorite movie. But
It was
like,
funny.
yeah, and it was funny. Yeah, it was like genuine, like
It's just
funny.
Scenes
enjoyable.
with Hulk was just weird. It was awkward.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
Oh,
he was in the bath, like in the hot tub. He was just looking at him like.
Nah, the movie was genuinely like and that was the thing too. I love the direction they took with it because the first two Thor movies were so like serious and really like just like you couldn't relate to it. It was just like you're watching a movie. Like with Ragnarok, it was really like funny. You're like, wow, like that. Like and it was like common sense comedy. So it was just like
Right.
I just watched it like not like a couple days ago. Like it's like genuinely just funny.
And it's not
so-
what you see in the comics either.
Yeah,
So I
yeah.
like that they were able to, because it's good to stick to your roots and to stick with the comics, but it's
Yeah.
also good to like put a new spin on things.
Yeah, like even like they kind of just reimagined him as a whole. Like they had cut his hair. I feel like that was like a big thing, kind of like
Yeah.
Oh,
Like-
not to mention the man that cut his hair though.
Yeah.
We cannot do this without shouting out Stan Lee.
Oh.
I should have did that in the beginning, but man, like it's just been so influential over the years. Like it's sad to see an iconic hero go, but he's definitely left a legacy behind.
100%.
Excelsior.
I remember even like before the whole MCU started, even before years ago, like in the original like Spider-Man movies or the X-Men, like he would be in those, and it was just like a cool thing, whatever. And then they made it with the MCU and everything. They made it into a thing. His cameos, like it was, where's he gonna be this time? What's he gonna do? Whatever.
Always looking out for him.
Yeah, exactly. So it ended up being a thing. So unfortunately, this is his last thing. I think they confirmed his last cameo.
Definitely.
So
Unfortunately.
it's definitely gonna be interesting where that's gonna be at. Like I think being that it's his last cameo, I think it's gonna be like
A bigger part.
it's gonna be significant.
Not
like,
a bus driver, you know?
Yeah, not a bus driver for 2 seconds.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's like you ever seen a spaceship before?
Yeah, so
Like,
I think it'll be significant.
Yeah.
Definitely. But back to the question before. But I definitely liked Iron Man, like the original Iron Man. That was great. Civil War was great. Guardians is definitely great. That was hysterical. Even like the second one too. But the first one was really like
That's the only thing I
Guardians.
didn't see the second.
You have to see the
What?
second one.
I think it's on Netflix still.
Yeah, it is still on
It
Netflix.
is
You can
what
go
it
watch
is.
it.
I haven't got to it.
But my
Yeah.
favorite moment, though, it probably would be when Thor put Stormbreaker through Thanos' chest. Just because,
That's a good scene.
not for the fact that he did it, but for the fact that what he said afterwards. Like, because in the beginning of the movie, he killed Heimdall and everything. I was like, I told you, you're going to die for that. And then when he actually put the thing through his chest, he's like, I told you. Like, I was like, damn. Like,
I told you.
I didn't think he was gonna do it.
I was like,
I
he
didn't think
kept
he
true
was,
on what he said. He was like, I told you. Like,
They were like, yo, you should have gone.
yeah, I know.
Like, you had a clean shot.
I know, but he wanted to say that though. That's why
That's
he
what I'm
wanted.
saying. You wanted to talk before this man was
He wanted
dead,
to look
like,
him in his face and tell like, "Yo, I told you." Like,
Nah, it
I
should have been
beat
on
you.
sight.
I know.
Like, it should have been
Nah,
on
I
sight.
get it though. I get it. I would have done the same thing. I'd be like, "Yo, I told you." Like, remember when I told you? Like,
I don't think there hasn't been like a movie that I've just like turned like a Marvel movie that I've just been like, nah, I don't really want to
Yeah,
see
even-
that. Like
yeah.
they're all just really well put together, really
Yeah.
well done. They're thought out. Obviously, like if you are a Marvel fan and you watched Infinity Wars, and like I've had people hate on me for this, but I didn't think it was the greatest movie ever. Because like I said, I read the comics, and I think as like someone who does love films, you should look at it critiquingly and like look at it and just say like, well, it wasn't perfect, but for what they did, I think they did a really good job. They really kind of, in that amount of time, which was a lot, they really showed you everything that you could possibly imagine, and then they ended you on that cliffhanger, and now they're going to do the same thing all over again. So there hasn't really been a movie that you've just been, well, that kind of sucked, you know? So, like, because
Yeah.
every movie, like, leads into each other. So that's what's really great about the MCU is everything's really thought out beforehand, and you really know you don't know really what's going to happen, but you know, like, those characters are going to be somewhere else. So, like, you know, with DC, they're kind of spread out. You're not really sure what's going to happen. But with Marvel, everything is just really, really thought out.
Quick take. We can't have superhero talk without asking. What's your favorite? If you had a superpower, what would you have? Quick take.
I would probably, like, travel through time.
All right.
I'd probably go with on my shirt. I'd probably have a symbiote. That'd be pretty cool.
And I will be Spider-Man. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for tuning into this very special episode on Lounging with Lloyd. And the movie will be out 25th, 26th throughout the weekend. And just tune in next time. I want to say thank you guys for coming in.
Thank you for having me.
Have a good one. Enjoy the movie.
Hey, you
And
too.
we'll see you next time here on Lounge with Lloyd.